We have a beautiful 3406B here. In this video, we're going to be talking about a couple of engines that have reached the 3 million mile point. Hey guys, Josh with the Adept Ape channel, and in this video we're going to be talking about the 3 million mile diesel engine. Now you could see in that little clip I just showed there, a 3406B Caterpillar. You could also see that I didn't have this large rodent creature that's been growing out of my face yet. And that particular engine didn't have 3 million miles on it. But Caterpillar recently ran a story talking about a customer's 3406B that did have 3 million miles on it and his experience owning it. They also ran a similar story about 2 years ago discussing a different 3406B that had 3 million miles on it. And I wanted to discuss those stories, go over them, and also talk about the Caterpillar 1 million miler or million miler club that Caterpillar has that almost nobody knows about, okay? So let's get into the stories. So this picture is from the story that Cat ran. Also, there's going to be a couple other little snippets from their story. And this is Mike, and this is his beautiful, apparently rust-free truck, even though it's a 1990 with a 3406B in it. And you can see this little snippet. It's my first Cat engine, and I guess it'll be my last. He had bought this truck new in 1990, and if you can see there on the bottom line of the first paragraph, he's had 3 overhauls of the engine already. So with 3 overhauls, is it still the original engine? Well, yes, it's the original block and crankshaft, but the piston packs and cylinder head have been changed. So here's another picture of Mike, and you can see he has a Cat hat and a little replica engine and a jacket on as well. And you might be wondering, why would Cat run a story on their truck engines when they haven't made one since 2010? And they also ran another story about a 3 million mile customer. This is Jerry, Bonnie, and Buster. And they also had a 3406B with had over 3 million miles on it. And this one had only had 2 overhauls on it. This one even had the original front structure gasket and original camshaft and lifters, which is quite impressive for a pushrod engine. Now, the reason Cat is running the stories is not only is it amazing to have a person with a 3 million mile engine, but they're offering the Million Miler Club. So even though they're not putting new Cats in new trucks, they still support their Cat truck owners, and there's a Million Miler Club, which is very few people seem to know about. And what it is basically if your engine hits 1 million miles, 2 million miles, or 3 million miles, you can go to their page, and I'll show you the little clip. Now, I'll put where I found this story on cat.com, and anyone can access it. You don't have to work for Caterpillar. And there'll be this little link where it says join today, and you'll click that if your engine's hit 1 million, 2 million, 3 million miles. And basically you fill out some very basic information, your name, email address, company, and country, and click submit. Now, this does not automatically send you a jacket and a hat and a watch if you hit 2 million miles. What they're going to do is they're going to take that information, they're going to forward it to your Cat dealer where you're at. And then that Cat dealer is going to contact you, and they're going to need a lot of information on your engine and you, and they will get you this free gear, though. So it is kind of a nice thing for Caterpillar to do. If you have any other questions, you can contact your local Cat dealer, especially the truck shop, and they'll be able to tell you more information. So you get the hat and the jacket at 1 million, you get the watch at 2 million miles. And, you know, like I said, contact your local Cat dealer to find out more information on it. So if you notice, both of those engines were Cat 3406B, and one was a 1989 and one was a 1990 truck. And both of the trucks obviously have been well maintained, as well as the engines. Now, obviously, they've both gone through multiple rebuilds, which means the cylinder packs, the fuel nozzles, the cylinder head, I'm assuming the turbochargers at least once, have been changed out. And I'd be really impressed if there's any engine out there with anything close to this many miles that hasn't had the cylinder head and the cylinder packs changed on it. Those are just basic wear items that are going to wear out over time. It is impressive, though, that these original blocks are still pumping away, and Cats are made to be rebuilt multiple times, unless it's one of their smaller ones like a C7 or 3126, where they don't have removable liners. Those are more similar to an automotive engine, where you'd actually have to machine out the cylinder and push in new sleeves, which is obviously a lot more expensive and harder process than rebuilding an engine that has wet liners. Now, it's not just the engines that are going that long, it's also just some basic math. I mean, if you're driving 1,000 miles every couple days, it's going to take several years to get 3 million miles. I mean, if you had a 2005 and you were doing 2,000 miles a week, which is a lot, you'd still only be around 1.5 million miles. So a lot of it has to do with not just the engine, it has to do with the year and how old these engines are, because it takes a long time to accumulate that much mileage. I mean, that's 100,000 miles per year. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I have seen people with older electronic engines, we're talking mid-90s, you know, like a 34.6E or one of the early C15s with 3 million or close to that in mileage, and it's a similar thing. They've been rebuilt, obviously, so original block, but the piston packs have been changed out, the cylinder head's been changed out, the injectors have been changed out, and they're just running them a lot, and it's been a lot of years of running them many miles per year. So I'd seen that article on CAT. I just wanted to let you guys know about it and tell you about the Million Miler Club, and thought you guys might find it interesting. Thanks for watching.